Battlefield 1 is still very much alive and well, and it's just received its final monthly patch at the end of June, dropping plenty of weapons for all classes to play with. A few of them are, not surprisingly, locked behind some assignments, DICE seems to love those, whereas others are freely available to anyone from the get-go, which is really nice to see as well. In this video, I'll show you how to unlock the new weapons if you haven't already, and I'm going to give you some impressions of the new guns in their new roles. But before I get into things, this video today is sponsored by Swagbucks. Swagbucks allows you to earn gift cards or even extra cash to put towards a copy of Battlefield 5 for simply watching some videos, testing out games, filling in a few surveys, or even just shopping online. If you want to check it out like I already have, click the link down in the description to start earning with a $5 sign-up bonus. Thanks Swagbucks for sponsoring this video. Okay then, let's get into this. First of all, these new weapons and their unlock requirements. Let's get those out of the way before I give you some of my impressions. We'll kick things off with the support class and the brand new Burton Lmr weapon. This comes in two variants, the trench and the optical, and as is now the standard with multiple variant weapons in Battlefield 1, you need to unlock one and then use that one to unlock the other. So you need to start with the trench variant. That requires you to score 50 defender kills. That's not a requirement we've seen before. They're actually really simple to get, however. Simply play a game mode that uses flags, so Conquest, Domination, Operations, or even the new Shock Operations, I guess the mode that DICE devs intended people to play when unlocking this weapon, and score kills on enemies whilst you're standing within the capture radius of a flag that you own. This will activate the defensive kill bonus and trigger a +1 added to the total of 50 that you need to get. The optical variant, as I mentioned, requires you to use the trench variant and perform 50 kills with it in any game mode that you choose. They don't have to be defensive kills this time, just straight up 50 kills with the trench variant, no added extras. But there is a second requirement, however. You need to resupply 100 friendly players. That's not 100 resupplies, that's 100 unique players being resupplied. That's going to take you a little bit longer to complete. And so for completing it, I'd recommend joining a Conquest round, playing through about 3 or 4 matches for you to unlock it. You could of course join other game modes, but if you joined an Operations match, for example, and started handing out ammo like there's no tomorrow, you'd be unlikely to hit that target because you'd be resupplying the same people over and over again. Conquest matches don't last as long, but you have at least 31 potential teammates to resupply, or possibly more if people were to drop out and new players join in, and then you can resupply those players as well. This part of the unlock is not particularly difficult, dropping ammo for teammates. That's exactly what you're supposed to do when playing as the support class, but it might take a little bit longer than you first anticipate, and maybe even after a round has finished on Conquest, drop out of that server, join a different one, and you've got more unique players to resupply over there. So you just need to think about it a little bit more. It will take you a bit longer, but it's really not that hard to do. Secondly, we're moving over to the Assault class now, to a new variant that's been added for an existing weapon, the Annihilator Smg. This weapon is now getting a Storm variant, giving it a slightly reduced recoil pattern at the expense of the greater hipfire accuracy that the Storm variant has. I think that was added just a couple of months ago. The M1919 Smg, which is a Battlefield 5 pre-order weapon, performs quite similarly to this, but I think DICE went ahead and added a Storm variant of the Annihilator to make sure all players of the game had something to use rather than needing to pre-order simply to get a weapon. So to unlock the Annihilator Storm, you need to score 50 kills with the Annihilator Trench variant, and then 10 kills with the Sickle melee weapon. Really not very difficult. 60 kills in total. Considering how close quarters focused the Trench variant actually is, you'd be best served equipping the Sickle at the same time, getting right up in the enemy's face, and dropping some melee kills in there with all the Trench kills that you're going to be getting as well. I really don't think this is going to take you all that long. Now that the new unlockable weapons are out of the way, it's worth mentioning to you that all of the pilot and tanker weapons have now been released from their vehicle shackles and have been handed out to both the assault class and the support class, but they've been split up in the following way. Assault gets the sawed-off double-barrel shotgun and the From a Stop auto pistol, and the support class gets everything else, which in my opinion does make sense. The shotgun and From a Stop auto both suit a close-quarter playstyle, and therefore sit much better with the assault class, which will likely be operating at those ranges anyway, and the other weapons like the Piper Carbine and the P08 artillery, they don't really suit the support class, but they've been given to the support class anyway, although I will say that most of the previous pilot and tanker weapons don't quite fit into the balancing as well as the standard primary weapons because they were never intended to be used in that way that they're being used right now. Some of them are quite underpowered when you come across other soldiers using the standard primaries, but then again, you can't really expect DICE to run a full Battlefield 1 rebalance now, so late in the game's life when they really do have much larger things to be working on, namely Battlefield 5. And lastly for the new weapons, there's a brand new M1911 variant, the Silenced. That's been added to the game, and as far as I can tell, it differs in no way statistically to the other M1911s, but it does come with the added benefit of being quieter when fired, so if you're going for a cheeky stealth run, maybe a flank on one of those game modes, it might be a good weapon for you to run with. And you can now have a fully suppressed or silenced loadout in Battlefield 1, either on the Scout class, the M1917 Enfield rifle, paired with the new 1911, or on the support class with the C93 carbine with the 1911 as well. I think I'm going to add both of those to a video list and maybe see if I can do like a silent support and a silent scout video. That could be quite cool. So there you are, the new guns that you can use in Battlefield 1's latest patch. I'm sure by now many of you will have unlocked the ones behind assignments and messed around with some of the pilot tanker weapons as well, but maybe let me know down in the comments which you feel are the best. Make sure you subscribe to the channel with notifications switched on so you don't miss any of my future videos, and thank you very much for watching today. But until next time, my name is Westie, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.